Hello, all, and welcome back to DuckTales, Season 3, Episode 14, The Split Sword of Swanstantine. So, obviously this is a direct follow-up with what happened the last episode. They're being pushed to find the rest of the artifacts. The splits, obviously, this one being the Split Sword of Swanstantine. But to be honest here, I have no idea what the fuck that could be. Like, I know Constantine, but I'm like, Split Sword of Constantine? What sort of twist on a RL legend is this? Or is this based on the previous show? Because it could be. It's been even longer since I've watched Darkwing than I've watched DuckTales. And outside of the guy who does a retrospect of it, I haven't gone back to it. Especially with this show. It's being better. Is it a thing from the comics? Because the only thing I can think of, which is absolutely not something I'd expect from a freaking DuckTales comic to reference, but is Constantine, the comic book character. Yeah, the one who's got a show. Because Constantine, or Hellblazer, at one point does in fact get a hold of and wields a split sword. Sword split down the middle, that's two prongs. And it is very much a special sword. And I severely doubt they're referencing that of all things. Because, yeah. But, it's also the only place my mind goes where it is. So, I've got no idea what the hell to expect from this one. Like, what is it? Why is it split? What's its special trait? Also, I didn't know the harp was from DuckTales. Like I said, it's been forever. And, I didn't... And, just like, anything else I missed? No, I can't think of anything else I missed that needs to be addressed. I did was informed by a comment that, I mislabeled a couple of videos. Oops. Yeah. I had him marked, at least on the thumbnail, as Season 7. You put it on, the Printer's Magic, reactions. For a long while, they were what I was doing most, uploading most. I was uploading this entire season of that. I'm done with Season 7. It's gonna be a while before it goes up all the way, but I've begun plinking away at the stuff leading up to Season 8 and then doing Season 8. But that's not on the side from this, and soon enough, Ruby. That one will always be the least important of the shows I'm doing. But, yeah. Unless, of course, there's lots of fan demand for it, but even then, it needed to be a lot of demand, because Ruby's like one of my favorite things, so I'm more inclined on that than even this show. And I really like the show. Yeah. Anything else that I learned about the show in general? I don't think so. And I know the Phantom Blot's a long-standing criminal character from the comics. Right. Okay, so my knowledge of the Phantom Blot, I believed, came from a Detective Mickey short that aired on House of Mouse. And this might be one of those Mandela effect things where you think you remember it being one way, but in reality it never was. Like the Bernstein Bears, or political things that I'm not going into. Or, guys, maybe after that, Mandela. Okay. Yeah. Stuff like that, yeah. So, but the way I remember it, which is, I think, accurate for the comics he probably trails from, the Phantom Blot was a criminal Mickey was investigating in a noir-style detective comic. Not comic, but short. That was being aired over the course of that episode of Disney House of Mouse. A House of Mouse was a thing that usually showed, was a vehicle for showing old Disney shorts and such, and occasionally new ones, like that, while also having its own comic relief set around a dinner and show club for Disney characters, where you got to see all these different Disney characters interacting. It was a fun show. But, yeah, Mickey goes investigate, and I remembered a living ink blot character, which that card could be what my memory was playing on me, if this actually did happen, of the Phantom Blot, and he was doing something with color and shit. I like I said, apparently there's a villain like that in Epic Mickey, but I've never played Epic Mickey. I've never watched a Let's Play of Epic Mickey. I've stayed away from it, honestly, because I want to do a Let's Play of that eventually. So, I had no idea. Maybe that's where that idea came from. Or, more likely, I just remembered an episode of the show, and that's what led me to this. That was my only interaction with the character, though. No, he was apparently always a criminal in the comics. The magicating thing is new, but yeah. I think this about covers all I gotta say. Well, let's get to this.
Swanstantine the Great was a warrior king.
Okay. Constantine, but as a swan, okay. Yeah, I figured that was probably the more obvious one, but like I said, split sword, I immediately go in that direction. I went towards Constantine. You actually adventures. Whoops, Scrooge. God damn it, Dewey. Meh, significant threat. How is he doing this while blind? How is he? Well, are we saying that the moment that all Dewey needs to do is be super confident is to wear a blindfold on every mission? Now he can see the danger. Wait, eye circuits? Does she have cyber eyes? Yeah, you really should build in something to filter out flashbacks and that. That's a massive oversight. Don't accept extra goggles. Yeah. That's a future knowing problem. That. I don't know if it's we've seen in the show more. Fucking Rocker Duck. He shows up. Here. Both! Oh, they make an excellent team. And they play off each each other great. Also, I completely forgot to comment on the fact that Lena is not permanently stuck in her blue magic form, which I do appreciate because I do like her old look and character design, and that was a big enough shift that I wasn't sure what to think about it. So, temporary super mode. Yeah, she could have just used that. Time's not flat out. It might be in his mind, but she's gotten really good at it and fully embraced her magical abilities. It's pretty great. This is a great little sequence here. Humorous, but not hilarious, but just not really be hilarious, just solidly humorous. Ew. Huey's dark side or something? Supposed to go once Huey's got to one. Ooh, chaotic rage. Like, Donald! And to a Stella. That's how they inherited. Yeah, that's a Donald level fight. Right there. Okay, this in-fighting style can come out of nowhere. Couldn't Lena just blast them magically? She showed herself as a pretty potent mage before. Oh, it does something to them. Bam! Conjuring up armor. Nice trick. That's not using wisely, Scrooge. Well, fuck. Oh boy. They're gonna do some cloning, I just know it. They don't have a magic member of their team, I don't think. Especially not with Blot. This is the Phantom Blot on there. So, they stole off a single feather, and with their actual mission, they're gonna clone Scrooge. Which, yeah, might actually be enough to help. There's a few. I mean, they probably were also trying to get the sword too. Like, hell, if they could get the sword and that, it would be a double win. But cloning was clearly their main. Acquiring the cloning was main goal. Which, oh boy. And that was a solid episode. I'm not sure if it's going to be one of my favorites, but and it does lead me to question some things because, like, Lena got a rather significant power upgrade in the previous episode, and she didn't make much use of it here. I mean, she used it to trap herself in Louie's mind, and then, you know, do stuff at the speed of thought, but I mean, legit, from what I thought, she probably could have single-handedly whooped all their butts. That might be exaggeration. But Lena plus Scrooge plus the others in support, they could have easily taken all of them. Especially because Rocker Duck's a wimp. Like, legit, Rocker Duck is not a threat in a fight. He's got no way of winning that combat scenario. So, even when he's up against literal children, like, even the weakest of them, or Louis could kick his butt easily. So, he's not a threat. That was the sleep of Heron, who Scrooge got handled, and Dee and Stillbeak. Those ones are actual threats, but they could deal with them. But, you know, it makes sense. Now, don't get me wrong, it makes sense. Scrooge knew they wouldn't be able to use the sword, and it would only end up empowering them and setting them back a little, so. obviously that's why he said it, but I still would like to see the new super mode engaged. Because now it's starting, because even though it's only one episode since she's got it in the show, I'm getting echoes of other another show I'm reacting to that introduced the super mode in one episode and then didn't use it again. Even if that super mode is gaudy as fuck. Like, still, I am glad to see that it's not her default appearance. And it's nice to see she's gotten so comfortable using her abilities and such. I wasn't even thought about it, pairing these individual characters out. That was a good thing about this episode. We get to see the groups get paired together in odd ways. Like, I'm not sure if we've seen Dewey and Webby. Wait, of course we have. Duh. I briefly forgot that suit was looking for Nell in the first place. Dewey and Webby. So that one's honestly normal. And I think we've seen Webby and honestly all the other two pair off. But we've never seen Lena pair off with anyone who wasn't Webby. And Violet did get an episode where she paired off with Yui for a when I say pair off, I mean the episode focused on them. This episode focused on all three groups, mind you, but equally, but they don't have much just them character interaction. Which was a nice touch, you know, we can see how these characters bounce off each other. Violet is actually badass enough and shit to help back up helping back off his claims. And she's one to realize that, hey, you know, we've got enough reputation of our own. We don't need the bullshit having a different one. I mean, he was successfully the richest duck in the world for a while. And he was the only one who beat the Bombay curse, which had plagued the richest person in the world for who knows how long. So, yeah. I like the fact that Dee apparently is probably the only one who actually cares about going non-lethal with the kids. The others don't bother, but she doesn't want to. Probably because we've established that she's not she's a bad person, but she's not evil. And she's got some level of a conscience. Like what happened with Fenton. But also, I mean, that was planned, but I fully believe she doesn't want to kill them, just put a stop to their adventuring. Because from Val's perspective, and almost certainly hers, they're endangering the world. Which is not an entirely incorrect perspective. The moon would have eventually invaded anyways, but they probably would have been in a better shot at defending it. On the other hand, if the guy had lived long enough to invade, he probably would have had even better plans to countermanage or whatever the hell they came up with. Like, the moon guy was working on his own plan. It just probably would have taken another 2 or 3 decades to do it without a Della there to provide some blueprints for his own fleet. He'd have gone there eventually, and then he would have found a way of recruiting his people to invade, and everything would have happened. Similarly, Magic and Spell's huge threat was only stopped because of Scrooge in the first place. She was in prison for a long while, escaped, and then she got stopped again, and for a long while depowered. So, while it's true, you could say they've caused some of the threats, it's also them who stop the threats, and in some cases, the reason the threats were possible in the first place is that they stopped them originally, and now that threat wanted revenge. So, yeah. So, I do like the fact that they give the villains an interesting motive, and I do especially still like the fact that Bradford, at least, is pushing for the organization to not be run like a supervillain organization. Just don't screw around with shit, because it's not going to work well. He's got the wrong-headed perspective on the adventures of the others, but he's not entirely ungenres happy. He doesn't want to do a supervillain plot because he knows those plots don't work. So, Mooninitis is dead. But that's because he planned very well and they won't be able to do a repeat of his performance. Because remember, they barely pulled that victory off. It was great. Okay, let's see. Lord, I put something else here, but I don't remember what it was I wrote. And my writing's never exactly all that good. It's mostly there to help me remember, to jog my memory, but sometimes by just writing it down. But yeah, still, so the sword was split because it was literally taken apart and it's not normally split. And it's got the ability to instantly summon up magic armor on everybody. Like, alright. It was a solid episode. I like that. Not the funniest one. I don't think I said a lot during the actual reaction. But maybe I said as much as usual. Sometimes that happens. I can't tell until after the fact. I feel like I didn't say much, but I did. Still, it's pretty good. Yeah. Still pretty good, yeah. I did. Yeah, that would be clever. Cloning Scrooge and creating a duplicate who could actually find power with them. Or maybe that's not what they're doing. Maybe they're building Cyber Scrooge, or I don't know. Cloning's my go-to one because it's not magic. Otherwise, I think it'd be a magic ritual. But again, still. HighPriest signing out, and I will see you all